We just talked a bit about support, and I think that society needs to support people with disabilities. Society needs to understand that disabilities do not hinder their ability to move forward and to progress. And part of what society can do to help people with disabilities is have agencies, nonprofit agencies that help individuals in employment. I think in essence, it's education. It's being educated about disabilities and about accommodating needs, and employers accommodating, reasonable accommodations such as a modified work week for somebody who, because of medications and their mental illness, is unable to get up early in the morning. That's an example of the accommodations, and I think that society needs to understand the disabilities as well as accommodate them in order to assist people with disabilities in being successful in employment.
I think there's a lot that we still need to do as far as letting people with disabilities have decision making in their own lives and making their own decisions, where they want to live, what they want to do. And I think affordable housing comes into that. I mean, we have group homes where we have 9 people living in one home. And I mean, that's not ideal. It's all of a sudden you're thrown in with 8 other people you don't even know. Just because you have a mental illness, does that mean that you don't have a choice of living on your own?
Still the words you hear, crazy and psycho and manic and schizo, all those words are still buzzing. Like I watched a movie last night and full of psycho and crazy. But slowly it's starting. I know CMHA, Canadian Mental Health Association, did an initiative where they in Nova Scotia got the public to kind of be on the lookout for some of these words in the papers, in the media. Yeah. And media didn't like it, but in the end it was pretty helpful, and I think the media appreciated it afterwards, actually. I think they learned from that. Yeah. We were talking about the stat, roughly one in 5 people suffer from a mental illness. I'd like to see 1 in 5 of the famous people, famous people have mental illness. I'd like to see them come out a little more, speak up, and put some money into the system. And we have a few examples, like Brooke Shields. She came out with and talked about postpartum depression, and I respected that.
Robin Williams is another.
Robin Williams. Just recently, I'm a big baseball fan, and the Yankees, which I can't stand.
You do.
But I really respect their third baseman, Alex Rodriguez, who they say probably is the best player, and I think so. And back in the spring, he came out and disclosed that he was in therapy for clinical depression in the last couple of years, but doing well now. And so that just shows that it can affect anybody, no matter what your wage is, how good looking you are. The other thing with that instance is that there, ever since then, the amount of black youth seeking mental health services went way up ever since Rodriguez said that, and I think that's a good thing.
The best thing that society can do, is to not hide it, or just to sort of recognize it and say, so what, this is part of your health, this is part of your mental health. It's not anything that needs to be, stigmatized or swept under the carpet, and I think that if 1 in 5 people came out and, everybody sort of just was out of the dark and said, this is the reality of mental illness, that would really help everyone, because I think that there's a huge amount of that shame and that stigma surrounding it. So if society as a whole recognized the issues surrounding mental illness and sort of its prevalence out there and how common it is, that they would realize that there needs to be something done about it, I guess.